And good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Champions League special event. Tonight we have the finals of our Champions League. It is going to be Joe Olson versus Matt Harrison-Trainor. Joining me on commentary, as always, is Mr. Garrett Larson himself. How you doing, Garrett?
Doing pretty good. So got to catch a little bit of holoTable before this. Looking quite forward to the MPC or the Gem PC. So you and you and Batmouse did a good job laying out the seatings and the bracket. So it's always that one's always a highlight to
Mm-hmm.
watch and see, and kind of see everybody have fun.
So, what are your thoughts on this matchup? It's MHT. He's playing. Looks like he's playing with Lightside first versus Joe Olson.
I mean, they both have done outstanding through the Champions League. They've both shown themselves to be in here for a reason. I mean, they're not playing around. It looks like Joe Olson going with ROPSv against.
HITCO.
Looks like Matt's got HITCO.
Wasn't
That's
it?
gonna. Oh, hold on. I just got an in chat.
Uh-oh.
That's
Uh-oh. Yeah.
that's definitely an uh-oh. Um, well, the fun part of commentary is when you see things like
yeah.
this and go. The best part of this is I screwed up HITCO with the
No, it's
fleek
not
set.
Matt. It was Joe.
I know. Well, I'm more telling the story because I screwed it up both ways with the fleek set. I stole a deck list from the team that was fleek set legal and forgot to check it and tried to play it and lost a game. And then I did the exact opposite after the fleek set hit legal and lost a game where I put everything out of play to start with, and it was pretty impressive.
So, being that we
So
know the matchups are HITCO versus ROPS, who do you like in this match?
I think HITCO has a advantage. I think mains, when player skill is the same and the mains player's good, I think mains is slightly advantaged because they can go try and take over Reltier and do a better job than Reltier can try and take over their Twixes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that potentially favors Matt a little bit.
Yeah.
That being said, Relapse definitely can play with mains, and it is a close enough match that one mistake, one mistrack, one bad luck, for lack of a better term, and what was being discussed in Slack for a few days about how luck can change games. It can change everything
Mm-hmm.
real quickly, and a lot of that is just watching. The luck is seeing how both of them adapt to something not going exactly how they want.
Okay, so here we go. I'm wondering what the issue was. Was it? Do you think it was because Joe had
It
the
was the wrong route here.
wrong route here? Yeah.
That just because I don't see the other route, I didn't see Reltier hit.
Yeah.
And that's the only card that Ralops is required to deploy.
Mm-hmm.
Joe had just put the wrong Reltier in, and
Whoops.
that's one of those things that can happen.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
honestly, like Matt being a gentleman about it and saying, hey, let's restart the match is part of what makes this community amazing.
very true.
Because Matt absolutely could have said, nope, play it as it lies. I guess you don't get an objective,
Yeah.
and
I
you're
mean,
generating too. Good luck.
now, I mean, the way I look at it, like, I don't think somebody's going to take. Well, I can't say that actually. I was going to say I don't think somebody's going to have the wrong routes here in person, but I've seen people play like Qui-Gon Jinn with lightsaber and Diplo. I've seen people play with like 2 Hans on the table. So I really can't say that.
Oh, it happens all the time in live events. When I was playing well, and now we're going back 15 years, I played Sam Tashima in a finals of that might have been Bespin Regional for the championship. It was top 2. And for the entire game, I had 2 EPP Obies on table.
Okay, so
And it was, neither of them did anything but drain all game. And I had a Qui-Gon in hand, so like it didn't change anything, but it was before active judging, and no one could say anything.
Okay, so
and it was like crazy. So Joe's
he got the Piet and the
pulled a
Ozzel.
couple. Yep.
And Matt went ahead, used Our Only Hope to pull Yoda's Hut, and then he used Quite a Mercenary V to get Chewbacca Protector. So,
Yep.
pretty standard sequence of events. Joe going with the normal start of Insignificant Rebellion, Imperial Rest Order, and Secret Plans, and then Endor Shield. Matt going with I Feel Conflict, Walkling, Like My Father Before Me, and I Must Be Allowed to Speak. So interesting to see the I Must Be Allowed to speak up there.
Yeah, the speak surprises me a little bit because you probably don't want to put Luke to Tatooine. Like you really, you want Luke at Endor. So that's a little bit of an interesting start to me. And honestly, even Joe is starting the Arrest Order combo instead of the straight Arrest Order for the extra forfeit. Tells me he's probably playing more big Imperials. So Joe's
being a little risky right
out
here. I mean, like it.
HITCO rarely runs a lot of space. And I think Joe probably knows the same thing we were talking about, where I think HITCO is mildly advantaged here.
Yeah.
So taking the battleground system right away has some value. Now it'll be interesting because I know Joe has said before that he hates when people pay for early drains. He always feels like those cards are more valuable in hand. It's a better, getting those cards in hand to set up that tempo is better. I'll be interested to see if he pays for this drain here. I don't think he will. The drain coming up. I mean, we're watching Matt do all his setup as he threw down Yoda's Hut, and he's using Speak to go grab the farm.
I don't know, like, why would you? I mean, I understand not wanting to drain, but like you were saying, HITCO is advantage, so why not do as much damage as you can early? Now, the other thing is, it's a little bit of a risk here, because if Matt is, say, playing the Tidarian or the Tantive, which we've seen HITCO kind of like to run just as like your generic, your token space package. Like if he comes down with like the Tantive and Han Solo Optimistic General, that could be really bad for Joe.
Yeah. Joe is taking a calculated risk here that I think is a good play. Like I like Joe doing it, and I think it's the right play, but it's definitely a calculated risk that HITCO's not going to hit realistically like a 1 in 50 twice. There's a very small combo of cards that he can really hurt him with. And frankly, HITCO would have to be a little bit worried too. If you come down on the shuttle with, like you said, let's say Han on the Tidarium, and you draw your destiny, and odds are you just costing him Ozzel.
I don't know. Ozzel's only forfeit 5.
Yeah, and HITCO's got more 6s than most decks, but you're still.
Well, I'm saying
drawing a 6 is.
Well, Han adds a destiny on the shuttle.
Yeah, but he's only ability. Oh, yeah, then you'll get the destiny for it, because the shuttle does have a permanent pilot.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be the only combo though. Like somebody on the Tanev would be, I would worry a little bit about a rebeat with Joe having 14 force and a deck full of Imperials.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tarkin plus Emperor makes that shuttle real scary real quick.
True. Joe only has a 7-card hand, though.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the.
And I see Matt going straight to Raltier, which I think was
Mm-hmm.
is the play and is what we kind of talked about. That's I think a lot of the action is going to happen on Raltier.
Agreed.
And I think going to it early to try and make Joe work a little harder for the flip is the right play as well.
I mean, we did see Joe play an Imperial Command. He grabbed General Veers. If he's had like one of the Blizzard Walkers here, that could be really good for him. And
Yeah. It's still early enough. You don't know what is. He doesn't have Destiny tracked.
no.
And Yoda's still, I mean, defending Yoda's going to be power 6 and forfeit 7. So Veers and Walker plus 2 Destiny, probably not overflowing him.
Yeah, I mean, you have 30.
And your same concern about a 6 is, a 6 destroys a Walker and Veers if Joe throws it down.
True.
So you have to. This is. The battles in this matchup are going to hinge a lot more on not putting yourself in a bad position
Mm-hmm.
on the rebeat than the initial battle, because both decks absolutely have the ability to come down in a bad way afterward. I missed in chat. I'm not sure what play JNAP can't imagine Matt making, but there's probably a few of them that we kind of discussed as we were spitballing ideas. Like I think the anyone on the Tanev against the shuttle is probably the play that would just be bad. Like
it could be bad.
That's not even a play I'd make, and I make dumb decisions sometimes.
So Matt went
there's
ahead
Jared
and,
confirming space attack.
Yeah, Jared went ahead and drew up. Or Jared, sorry, Matt went ahead and drew up. Now I just got Jared on the brain.
That's commonplace. Jared's a really nice guy and did some awesome prize support for the donation, the PC donations. Those are starting to go out and getting talked about on Slack and on the forums. And some of those boxes are beautiful.
I'm definitely jealous about that. Okay, and
I'm just waiting for mine to show up. Joe, you know what? Neither of them threw battle plan out.
Yeah, no battle plan yet. I mean, I don't see Matt playing it because he's got Goldenrod and Wise Advice out.
And Matt will likely be the one paying for it all the time.
Yeah.
But my guess is once Joe takes a battleground, he'll throw it out just to make Matt pay for the Yoda drain.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. Matt's not. The one force isn't worth losing that last shield. Because HITCO might be running a Hear Me Baby, but
yeah,
it's.
And I think if you're Matt,
yeah, I think Bill's now yelling at us about the space attack too. I think the only way the space attack would have been worthwhile is if you had something crazy like General Han on the Titanium, where you're very likely to clear the system. And you're not going to leave a character or a ship in hand in play that's just going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so Joe, after the drain, Matt loses neighboring leads, and Joe will use his objective to get out the site. But I think if you're Matt, I still think even if Joe does play the Battle Order shield, you still want to drain just to move projection of a Skywalker.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matt's got to pay to drain there. I basically Matt's going to pay to drain for the entire game.
Yeah, unless you don't.
Because frankly, as soon as Joe puts the Emperor on that shuttle, I don't think Matt can go after it.
And the other thing is,
Anakin to go get daughter of Skywalker or potentially son of Skywalker.
yeah,
I feel like Matt's probably not playing son. Yep, he went and grabbed daughter.
I don't know. Like,
So
unless this is like some weird variant of HITCO where you're trying to train Luke on Dagobah, I don't see it. But there's our only hope to move projection or prophecy.
yep, it was tight.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's cold and flu season.
Yes, it
Everybody's
is.
fighting something off sometimes. So, and Joe's just drawing some. All right. I think Joe's.
Now he has to play battle order as Matt would be draining for 2 there.
Yeah, force Matt to pay for that drain of 2. But I think Joe's, yeah, just draw himself up a few and get the. Don't deploy too light. You know, he's activating 17 next turn. You've got enough to get what you want out. So go put together the hand you need. He's drawing to 14. So if Matt pops the thrown back shield, he's staying in range still. There's the battle order,
Yeah.
which makes sense. And Joe's much more likely to satisfy through the remainder of the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Joe's gonna have a lot of force to work with on his next turn, which can
A
be
lot
good.
of cards in hand.
Yeah, he's up to 15 now.
He might be just trying to tempt Matt into popping that shield.
Possibly.
So
Like, I don't
Matt
know.
activates.
I mean, if you're Matt, what other shield do you really need?
Yeah, I mean, aim high is not going to do anything, which would be the other shield you usually use. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay, there goes an Emperor and Gick off the top of Joe's reserve deck.
as Matt paid for the drain of 2 that he knew he needed to, he's got to do that drain.
Yeah.
Get it running. The Emperor being lost gives Joe the potential now, if he doesn't have one in hand yet, to go reinforce the shuttle and just lock down the system. That'll give him one the next time he starts a battle. Because he can swap an Imperial out for it when he draws Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And get himself there.
Bill's in the chat saying that any use interrupt there can allow him draw to 15. That doesn't make sense because Matt would play the shield, Joe would get a response, and then Matt would have to utilize the shield to put cards back. But Joe would, like I said, Joe would have a response in between that.
Yeah. And I don't think, honestly, I think both of them know that's how it works. They know, but there are times where you do things to see if your opponent makes the mistake,
Mm-hmm.
to give your opponent the chance to make the mistake and make a play that's maybe suboptimal. And that's the kind of thing Joe would do.
Okay, Daughter of Skywalker going down to the Lars Moisture Farm. That will allow Matt to pull a card out of his use pile.
Yep, takes the MSB allowed to speak pull and gets himself set up. I don't love putting anyone there, especially with him having gotten rid of Nabron.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nabron is a dead card in this matchup just because of the Imperial Rest Order.
Well, Nabron makes it move things.
True.
You're fine with that if it gets them off of that site. Now, maybe he's running a second Nabron, and that's very possible. I'm envisioning Joe flipping, dropping Imperial Decree, and an empty ship at Reltier.
Ooh, what?
Oh, that one's spicy.
When was the last time you saw that card?
The retro events.
Yeah. Guni Te, a blast from the past coming down onto the
That's
field. Uh, I don't know if Joe's thinking the same thing right now, but wow.
that's a spicy play. I mean, Joe's probably thinking he's got no escape to potentially get around it at one site. This got gooey, Chris. I get out. Oh,
Oh, he
and
does have the
MFC
neighborly. He does
does
have
have
a
a
second
second
one.
neighbor.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
daughter.
I'm looking at them dropping there and just mentally going, Joe's probably running Decree, and he can just strand guys there with a drain of zero. Like,
Yeah.
okay. So backing up Yoda there, that's protect that drain of two, which is important. And that Goonie Tay is going to add up quick because
Oh
I
yeah.
think Joe was looking to drop a bunch of guys this turn. You know, he'll have 23 force and 15 cards in hand. I can 23 is a lot, but if he needs to drop, you know, if he's dropping four guys, that's an eight. You know, Goo is an 8 cost bump right there. That's going to be hard to get everything out there.
Sorry, I wanted to get a picture of that just because, like I said, it's been forever since I've seen that. For one, and two, right now I'm saying that's our token.
Yeah, I
But
was thinking the same thing, and I'm also thinking at the same time. I see that Yoshi Sam Fukushima just subscribed with Prime for 47 months, and that's a lot of months. So, um, looks like 21 people in here watching as well. So we're having a good time. It's a good way
yeah,
to spend a Tuesday.
I mean, what else is there to do on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's. I got my medium kid taking my little kid to hockey, so I can get away with a whole lot of things.
So many shenanigans.
So Matt's just drawing up as well. They're just going to stare at each other, I think, for a little while with some couple giant hands because Joe's got to know Matt's going to come down hard.
Yeah.
And losing the Gick isn't a big deal because he can always go get it back. Like, frankly, that's the best spot for it. You know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
But it also telegraphs that you have it. So now Matt has to decide if he's going to grab that Gick. Is he going to grab? Is there something else he wants to grab? So, kind of curious to see where that all goes.
Yeah. Agreed. And this is these two matches or these two games are the final chances for everybody who is doing the sticker program. After this, I'm going to be sending all the information over to Jared so that way we can get the last batch of packs over to all the viewers. So game one token is Gunita or Gunite.
Yeah, Gunite. That was I'm pretty sure everyone said the same thing we did right when that hit. That was
Except for Chris, who said it was just about to get gooey.
yeah. Well, and Joe probably, you know, his terminology probably wasn't quite as good as ours was. Oh,
Okay.
he is getting the shield out to just kill it. All right.
Yeah. So I find your lack of faith disturbing. Makes it go to the lost pile.
It just straight cancels Gunite. But that's a third shield, or that's the
That's his fourth
shield
shield.
pull there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said with Matt, what other shield is Joe really going to pull here?
Oh well, he
Joe
just
just
said
said, I guess I'll give you Sense and Harvest. I could see Harvest. I don't see HITCO running a lot of Sense Alter necessarily, but Harvest with the farm is definitely a concern.
Joe coming down with Blizzard 8. We know that he's got a General Veers in his hand. I don't know if I
Is
like
he gonna?
this play necessarily. Like, I like going down with it, but I don't know if a battle here is the right idea.
Especially since Chewie can cancel Veer's text.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe's going into a battle there. I think Joe is using Blizzard 8 to prevent Matt from controlling that site so he can flip and then figuring out what he wants to do with the move.
Okay.
There's Palpatine on the shuttle to lock down that system. I don't think HITCO's got any way to handle that.
Mm-hmm. I like this. Jared in the chat points out that the statement that Joe said in the chat was that Joe admitting that he's not playing Cold Feet or Min V. I don't think he's necessarily admitting anything, but we'll see. Joe does point out what he's got for Destiny. He's got a 1, a 2 4s, a 5, and a 6.
That's Joe with the giveaway. Oh, and going for the squish on Chewie. So he only misses if he draws the 1.
Yeah, well, that's the only Destiny he would use. Okay, Matt grabs the trample. I like that for Matt.
I like it. I don't love it. I feel like most of his characters are going to be relatively immune to trample.
Yes, but I mean, Chewie is important. I would say Hera is another one.
Yeah. But you can potentially go around those. There's sense.
Okay, sense.
Oh. All right. I like the grab and sense.
Yeah, that I do. I like it even better.
Yeah. I'm just thinking I wouldn't have minded grabbing Gick.
Yeah, and Joe plays his own sense. I love it.
This is all sorts of spicy right now.
Yeah. But here's the that takes away the 5.
Expecting.
So now Joe has even less odds to hit the trample or to hit with trample.
Well, it's a 25% chance. There's the miss.
And he misses.
That was the only one he misses with.
Yeah.
That's
unfortunate.
That was not the way Joe was hoping that would go.
No. And both of those senses go to the use pile there. Matt, because Matt has his wise advice shield out there.
Yep. It was
unfortunate for Joe.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that missed Chewie.
Mm-hmm.
Was the 1. So Joe was 80% to get the trample and then drew the sense destiny and was 75% to get the trample. And sometimes you miss. So
I wouldn't say
like
it's
Michael Scott said.
Oh, sorry.
It's kind of like Michael Scott says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, by Wayne Gretzky. So
man, I don't know what's worse between you and Jared. You both are just quoting the Office like it's your job. But we do have the question in the chat saying, is that effectively GG? No, I wouldn't say it's GG. It is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, though, still. But I don't think Joe can fight here now at all.
I'm surprised he put Veers on Blizzard 8 right now. I would have expected I would have expected Veers at the neighboring site to speed the flip and then probably walking Blizzard 8 over and Veers piloting.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because he's not.
But, I mean, the thing with that, though, is then. Oh, okay, yeah, I actually do like that because then it would make Matt come down with resources to flip Joe back to the 0 side.
Yeah. All right, so he's got Tarkin there as well. So he's. Whoever he cancels with Chewie, he's still getting 2 Battle Destiny there.
Mm-hmm.
I like that play.
Because we know he's got 2 4s and a 6 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's Thrawn to give him some forfeit fodder.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially Well, he can't dodge with those guys, and he doesn't have the force to no escape. Yeah, I think it's just a. Oh, and he's running them away. All right.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand that, but again, Joe is a two-time world champ, so I can't
Yeah.
necessarily fault him too much. But at the same time, just looking at it like from my perspective, you know what you have there. Why not battle?
Yeah. I mean, Joe's a better player than me, so I'm assuming there's a reason for it, but it's also possible Joe just got a little flustered with the trample sense fail and didn't think through the how did he want to do stuff otherwise.
Yeah.
And potentially the issue he has there is an 8. If he draws the 8, he only kills Leia,
Mm-hmm.
and a 6 costs him one of his guys and leaves him a little bit open. Like we talked about, you're not playing for the battle you're starting, you're playing for the battle next turn that your opponent's starting.
Yeah.
And that could have put him in a bad spot. A Walker with 2 Destiny is good, but he's got a lot of his best resources on there as far as being able to really hammer a lot through,
Mm-hmm.
because he's got Veers and he had to put Tarkin up there with him. So he can't run that at another site. And that's a tough spot to be in. So Matt drains here. Joe loses Blizzard Scout 1 from reserve deck, which his hand must be really good,
Yeah.
because I definitely would have
Oh
liked to have the.
wow. Matt going
And
so old school. I love it.
wow. So Matt now has the ability to move all over routes here
Yeah.
at a whim, and playing a whole host of cards
And
I did
Jared
not
just
expect to see.
no. And
Yeah.
Jared pointed out Joe's shield busted.
Yeah. And Matt's playing cards I did not expect to see here.
Yeah.
This will be okay, it looks like Matt went for Luke's Saber and did not find it. So
So that
let's see if
means,
Joe remembers all 10 cards to tell us what the destinies are.
and unfortunately, that does mean that he's not going to be able to put a card back with the effect.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to be able to do that even if he found the Saber. So, and he used his weapon lev to go get Luke's Saber, which telegraphs another shielded card.
Mm-hmm.
But Ralops doesn't traditionally run a whole lot of characters with weapons.
Yeah.
So,
Chris
hey,
Kelly.
Chris, he's still got Jedi Knights in there. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're like. They're not foiled, so it's.
It's something. I don't know. I like this version better. Like,
I'm
this is crazy. I love it.
there's so much going on here that I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Like he's Matt's like, what are all the most obnoxious cards I could play? All right, let's do it. Every dang one of them. Let's go. That's you gonna cancel my Gunite? Fine. How about I revolution your sites? Like,
How about I play the
no
harvest?
one's expecting those things. Yes,
No.
and honestly,
How
like
about I play harvest? How about I play beggar?
at this point, I'm gonna drop Owen and Baru combo and harvest would be like the 4th most surprising thing in the game.
Yeah.
Like that one would fall into that. I could kind of see that. You've got the farm.
Yeah.
Why not? And especially with HITCO, where if they don't pull out code clearance, you just be like, harvest and then retrieve harvest with HITCO.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe lost to the Drain at Relatier. Joe lost Imperial Command and Blizzard Scout 1. Again, that
Yep.
was all. That was everything that Matt did right before he deployed the Revolution.
The Blizzard Scout 1 is,
It's big.
I think Joe would like that one back. And
Yeah.
actually, it looks like he lost them both off reserve. So those would have been, he would have drawn an 8 against Leia. And
Yeah.
I mean, with what everything else Matt's got in here, I could totally see him rocking a Gift of the Mentor. And
why not?
I mean, the response, if he'd have left Blizzard 8 there, I could totally see here's Luke with the saber and the hand, and let's go Gift of the Mentor. And
yep. Okay, so
make you have something.
Leia does move over, joining Luke. That's going to cause Mithron Renudo's game text to ping off, making Matt lose a card. He loses quite a Mercenary V off the top of the reserve deck. And then Chewie slides over as well. I don't hate this because, I mean, with Yoda there by himself, like we said it before, the big thing against Yoda is Veers. And Veers is now on the table.
Yeah, like there's not a lot else RALOPS can drop against Yoda that would really scare me.
Okay, Matt's going to attempt to retrieve quite a Mercenary V with the 7 side of his objective. Now, again, Joe can stack a card on I Feel the Conflict to cancel it, but it looks like he is going to allow it.
Yeah.
Matt pays the 1, and quite a Mercenary V is retrieved.
Yeah, I don't... Losing 1 to keep him with 1 loss doesn't seem like a great...
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like great math right now.
No.
I mean, Joe's got to get a Jedi down to flip him back. Joe's got to get his Vader down. Joe's got to get a...
Inquisitor.
Mara, or, Inquisitor down.
Yeah.
And I think Joe's got to just go slow on that.
Okay, Matt loses Goonie Tay to the first raid, so he's playing 2. And he also loses Keep Your Eyes Open V.
I mean, you want your Goonie Tay early, so
why not
playing
2?
a couple seems... If you're going to shield bust, you need those shield bust cards early to force your opponent to burn those shields. And I don't hate those plays. And there's Grand Inquisitor going to Tatooine.
That kind of makes sense to me. Now he can spread a little bit. I mean, the other, like right now, Joe is losing 2 to the Drain at the Spaceport City. Don't know if Matt's going to Drain with Yoda. So spreading right here is probably the best idea for Joe. And being that Luke is on the table, I mean, Luke is the scariest card. Now we know that Matt is probably playing Obi-Wan with lightsabers.
He definitely is. He drew 1 for the Neighbor and Destiny. But like Obi with lightsaber alone he'll clear the site. He's not going to necessarily overflow the Sister or the Inquisitor, not by enough to make it matter. And I like what Joe's doing here, where Joe's just saying, you know what, you take routes here, fine. I am going to take all your sites.
Yeah.
And he's forcing Matt to have an answer. Like...
And we know that he's got the Gick in the lost pile.
I like what Joe's done here as far as that trample missing absolutely changed Joe's plan quite a bit.
Yeah.
And his response was a good and quick shift. So he's moving Prophecy to Spaceport City, which will make it a drain of 3.
Yep. And Joe
normally Joe would just pull resistance, but
this is not a normal match.
This not in this world.
Nope.
Not in the Gudite Revolution world. Joe doesn't get to resist anything right now. So Matt's going to pay 3 for that drain of 3, and Joe is just going to say thank you. And I mean, Joe's going to pick some up here. There's not much else.
No.
I mean, right now we have a bit of a staring contest going on.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, this, unless Matt's got some more crazy tech floating around, like a draw their fire beggar shenaniganery.
Yeah.
There's going to be, you know, this may end up kind of being a staring contest. I can definitely see throwing Obi-Wan at the Inquisitor or Seventh Sister and eliminating some of those drains.
I think you go after the Seventh Sister, and the other reason, okay, so I mean, both those sites are drain -1s there, so I think maybe Isard is the right one.
I mean, if you go after Isard and then move over to block the sister drain, I don't hate that. I think you'll see I think if he goes after the Inquisitor at all, it's going to be with a Lando. So he can get his I must be allowed to speak grab as well. And if you're going with Obi, the Inquisitor causes that ping that you don't even want to go.
Drain of 4 there. If your Thief or Scout present, it's a drain +1. So of course Matt's gonna drain for that.
And Joe can do nothing about it.
Yep. He loses Vengeance, Blizzard 2, Grand Moff Tarkin, and he still has 1 more to lose. Now the other thing is right now Joe actually controls 3 locations with Imperials, so he's going to get that drain of 2 at Iriadu.
Yeah, the drains are going to get strong quick here, depending on what Matt can do. Now, like you said, I don't hate the idea of Matt being able to go after Isard and then the sister and try and knock out 3 of those drains.
I like Bill in the chat is saying.
Normally, I would not believe Bill. Right now,
not?
that would not even be like draw their fire, Jedi Presence, beggar, beatdown. It wouldn't even move the needle at this point. I'd wonder why he didn't do it earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it's only 6 cards out of his 10-card hand. I mean,
but like we
totally
said,
reasonable.
The Gick is in Joe's lost pile. It's not going to do much. I mean, he would lose the card. He would lose the Isard. He would lose a card to draw their fire, but then he would change a card with Gick.
Yeah, you do beggar to burn all his force first.
Yeah, okay.
Since you can't do frozen assets, Bill playing Family Feud, just show me potato salad. So it's
okay, that makes sense.
There's a lot of thinking going on right now by Matt. I think he's realizing Joe flipped his game plan, so now Matt has to figure out the response to that flipped game plan. Like, as a spectator and as a commentator who's trying to make this interesting for everyone instead of let's just sit here while Matt thinks about things, because that's kind of what we're doing. I'm enjoying watching this and enjoying the mental gymnastics. Like I said, this isn't, this matchup is a lot more about the response to the play than what happens when you make the play. So this is the punch, counter punch, counter, counter punch play. So Jyn Erso with Isard block that drain.
Well, I mean, you could fight into Isard here.
Or just fight into her, because Isard's just going to break cover. There's Owen and Baru.
Yeah, there they are.
I mean, there's only 6 cards in Lost Pile. It almost feels like a waste to harvest right now.
Does it, though?
There's Screaming Lando.
Yep.
get the I must be allowed to speak
Get that
pull,
draw their fire so you can play the beggar.
or vice versa. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
gonna have one, you might as well have them both.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, problem is without Obi with Saber or some way to make him forfeit 0, like that hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Although I think Harvest has a separate text that adds a couple Destiny. I don't remember if Luke has to be there.
So there's the
There's the
draw
draw
the
their fire.
fire. Oh gosh, here we go.
I didn't know Bill was helping him playtest this deck as they were getting stuff ready to go. I mean, honestly, even just the draw their fire right now is going to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
You know, even without Beggar, like it's going to be one more thing Joe's gotta handle.
Yeah.
And if he takes out Istard and he takes out Inquisitor, Joe's draining for 3.
No.
Because he'll lose
4.
Iradu.
It's
Oh,
yeah.
control 3 battlegrounds. So if he still never tell
What?
I don't even know
What?
why are you doing this to us, Matt?
I don't know.
Why
But...
are you I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm I recognize these are all Star Wars cards, but these are things I haven't seen in a long time. And I mean, so if odds pops, Joe's sitting at 3 and Matt right now is sitting at 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd assume, Alan, he didn't break Jin's cover during deploy.
So I mean that one.
Oh yeah,
count.
Ossel's a 0, so he's sitting at 2. So
Worse is in the chat. Okay, so that's 9.
Yeah.
So that's 19 for Matt to Joe's 5.
He's gonna make Joe stack 1. He's gonna spill a couple potentially.
Potentially. And Lando's
I mean, he's almost definitely gonna overflow a couple.
Yeah, but the thing is, then you're gonna lose Lando here.
Are you?
Yeah, maybe. He has no immunity.
I mean, neither does Owen and Baru.
Yeah.
Like I could definitely see him losing Owen and Baru.
Okay.
Because Lando's frankly a little bit scarier by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worfs agrees. You lose Owen and Baru. The 4 is not threatening. So yep. So he went and got the Gick, which is good because that'll save him 3 force.
And now he has to stack a card.
Yep. I honestly don't love not breaking Jin's cover to battle Assard. Like getting the he loses Lando. All right, well.
Well, I mean, if you lose to Lando, then you can play Harvest as bait because I think you're right. You add a Destiny or 2 with Harvest.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, now you got me wondering. Opening deck builder real quick to look. I think Harvest might have to have Luke there. If Luke is in a battle with Owen or Baru, add 1 Destiny, 2 if both. So Harvest doesn't add a battle Destiny by itself. Okay. That seemed a little too good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but then you get, like you said, if he can harvest and retrieve, oof.
Yeah. If he can harvest and retrieve, or I almost hope he does something really crazy, like manages to lose Owen and Baru to take advantage of the +6 power, and then run Luke's run into something. Like if we're gonna do crazy things, let's go
full tilt.
all out crazy.
Yeah.
Like I want to see insanity as Bill's trying to justify in chat that odds is totally reasonable in HITCO. And yeah, I mean it is, but it's still like it's straight canceled by a shield. Like,
Yeah, but
how many of those are you gonna run?
but
No,
like you're
I get
saying,
it.
Bill pointed out in the chat earlier, Joe does not run cards to play other shields. He only plays 4 shields, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There you go. Relocate Yoda over.
I feel like Joe's probably running Min. Like maybe not cold feet, but Min is a solid fit in ROPSv.
I mean, Min was better when you could run the code clearance non-shield.
Yeah.
But
Min's still solid, and getting rid of a getting interrupt out of play is also pretty good with Min. So
yeah. Okay, Joe gonna pay 1 to draw the top card of his reserve deck with the 7th sister.
Yeah. Joe's down to, they're about equal in force right now. I mean, say 16, 24, 32 to now, actually.
Yeah, Matt has a little bit more of an
Matt's a little bit ahead, and
it's 32 to 25.
Yeah.
And I mean, Matt's about to lose 4, so it's going to be 28 to 25 going into Matt's turn. At least.
I mean, as much as you generally look at board state and be like, the person who's got battle orders satisfied is often in a better position, I'm not sure that's the case here. Yeah. With that shield bust and sitting on that drain, although he did, it is now just going to be a drain of 3 because Chewie's neither a, oh no, Luke's a scout. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot that Luke was a scout.
Yeah, that Luke's a really good Luke. So it's still a drain of 4.
Matt asking if inserts don't work.
They do, but it's yeah, it just doesn't show.
Oh yeah, it won't show where it is in the reserve.
No, you can search your deck with it in.
Yeah, you can't spread your deck out to see where it would be. Like there's hand things you can't do.
I love that. Matt said he's never played.
Yeah, he's never played inserts.
And Joe's like, oh, you want to shuffle it lower if you can. Yeah, no.
Joe, who's been playing since the Dark Ages when inserts were a thing, like that's
I gotta ask Phil though really quickly. Phil, what advice would you give Joe right now, seeing that Matt has played Revolution, Gunita, and inserts into with this deck? That's what I want to know. Like, what kind of advice would you give Joe? Joe's still thinking about it.
Well, Phil's typing. So Phil's "you can't count it" is correct in live play. If there's an insert in your deck, you can't count it, and you do have to announce before you activate how much you're going to activate. Mm-hmm. And is definitely something that comes into play a little bit more than, in live play. A lot of times you just kind of, I'll activate and kind of figure it out, and you see some, activating and then put 1 back type thing. You're definitely not doing that with inserts as it pops right there.
Yep. MHG has 5. Joe has 2. So 5 to 2. Yep. 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a PS.
Commander Sod and Emperor Palpatine, all from hand. Phil's advice is kill Owen and Baru, And then if you have Imperial Decree non-V, it would grind, make the even into more of a grind.
Yeah. You kill Owen and Brew because and honestly, I think right now Joe has to save that grabber for the harvest.
Yeah.
It's if he doesn't have
Really
a
quick.
way to do anything with it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a refresh the same way.
Yeah. Everybody's
That
refreshing.
visual bug on the inserts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Phil's right. Right now, Joe's goal is just to whittle it as low as he can. I think Joe is probably accurately said, okay, I'm probably not winning this game. So it's how do I lose by as little as possible to give myself a chance
Yeah.
next game.
Well,
And
one piece of advice: don't allow any more inserts.
I mean, honestly, the inserts aren't really a killer. Like
Yeah.
in the scheme of things, the inserts are two force. Like inserts are not
True.
they're not a huge loss. Although Matt's already going into the get as much back as he can as he retrieved Anakin with prophecy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also a trackable 4 now.
Yeah.
He lost Sense and Recall off the top of his reserve deck. He lost a Yoda off the top of his use pile.
Prophecy moved to Veers's site.
Yep.
So it goes back to being a drain of 3 unless he's got a way to move Prophecy again. And the drain 2 at Aradu, he was Anakin Skywalker and a Luke Jedi Knight.
Yep.
Off the top. See, that's what Chris should be complaining about is the Luke Jedi Knights just being lost off the top like that.
That's only the second Luke that we've seen.
And, yeah, I mean,
Chris
I don't
isn't
understand.
Even watching. Chris isn't even watching anymore.
I mean, after seeing what Matt did with HITCO and his beautiful, beautiful creation with the Goonie Tays and everything else, Chris is probably, just terrified.
Yeah, we lost Chris and we lost Jared. So now that we don't have any advocates, I say we get really into this fun game. Okay, Vader coming down.
Which I think is a strong play. Just drop Vader. Joe reviewed his reserve deck and didn't tell us what's in there. But I got to think he's got a...
Oh, Chris is back.
Chris is right back now.
Yeah.
I think he's got to know he can hit the choke on Owen and Baru.
Yeah. But then, it's going to be 6-6 in favor of battle.
That's fine though. Like right now, your goal
is you're not getting rid of Yoda though.
You're not really trying to. That drain of 1 isn't the concern there. The concern is the harvest. You battle here. You retrieve the 6 off on the top of Lost Pile, which is Palpatine. You make Matt lose a card.
Mm-hmm.
You choke out Owen Baru. 6-6. You're just drawing against him again. I assume Joe knows he's got a good enough destiny that worst case scenario he's stacking 1 to conflict.
Yeah,
but he's very potentially just not losing anything other than Vader.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I would like to see Joe do is put another character down with Isard. That way he can break Jin's cover. Okay, there's the Magistrate.
Okay.
Elspeth.
Yeah. I mean, he can break Jin's cover no matter what. He can always go get that Gick.
Well, yeah, but I would want to save that drain to 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be possible.
Yeah. Okay, so Joe initiates.
So
there goes Beggar.
And there went a Beggar. I
love it.
I'm All right, so there went Owen and Baru.
Yep.
So now Luke is going to be power +6 next turn
Yeah.
on the off chance he can get some sort of insane run league run battle, which would definitely make my day. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to do all of this cheese, go all out on the cheese.
I don't know. Chris is
So
saying to himself that he made the deck into something evil and twisted.
it's definitely shield busting can be really fun
Yeah.
in limited doses. I played a shield buster world deck at a Worlds in Chicago many a year ago
Yeah.
and made day 3 with it. And it was a horrible deck. It's a deck that should not have seen play as he walklings back Owen and Baru right away.
Yeah. Tells me
But it was,
that just signals that he's got a harvest or something.
yeah. Oh, it certainly does. I mean, we all knew the harvest is there. It's can he get it out and
Yeah.
get it down? And he doesn't really have a way to go grab Owen and Baru.
Mm-hmm. So gets a 4 for Destiny. I mean, that's going to at least save him from stacking a card on I Feel the Conflict.
Yeah, I mean, almost anything was going to because he's already up by 4 in power.
Yeah.
So he knew you knew that had to be at least a 4 because otherwise he doesn't start that battle there.
Yeah.
So there's no way you start the battle with only a 50-50 chance of the choke. And he goes and gets a sense.
Okay. By putting back Dark Time for the Rebellion in Tarkin's Order. And Matt draws a 3. There's the giant presence.
No, that's and a Dark Time
makes it into a 2 to keep the Elspeth
that also
around.
keeps Elspeth. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's 8 to 14. So he's going to lose Yoda,
Nope,
I think.
There's a sense.
And Joe with the empty reserve deck
you can't do anything about that. Unless you go up the altar. Or control.
At this point, nothing would surprise me.
Yeah, if Joe has the altar or the control here.
Yeah. I think the weight is it's giving Joe the chance to grab the sense, and I don't think I'd love that.
Yeah. Draws a 4, so the sense is going to go through.
Yeah. Which is fine, actually. Like, you'd like to keep Elspeth there, but it's not a huge issue to lose her. Like, I think that more for Joe is just it potentially helps him for another turn.
Yeah. I mean, it would have also made the damage 6, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Yoda would have covered, but losing 5 and keeping Yoda, it's tempting.
It depends a lot on what other cards Matt has. Yeah, I would if now, Matt had something like the Jedi Presence, but also like again, Joe can always go get the gift.
True. Like, I mean, Joe right now he's threatening a drain of 2 at the Lars Moisture Farm.
Yeah. Matt's gonna have to respond in some way.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. And he moves the Sard away because there's no reason to leave her sitting in front of Jin. And
and I like
he's doing Bub Kiss there. So
I like Phil's point right there. If he saves the Dark Time to activate to avoid the draw their fire beatdown, so he can play the Gek there. Like I was gonna say, Joe's only gonna have a 3-card hand in Matt's turn.
And it just dawned on me. I think I refreshed it.
Mm-hmm.
When that Never Tell Me the Odds popped, I don't think it counted Jin because she's inactive.
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah. That's a change from what I expected. I would have expected that to count Jin because I thought that still counted characters like that, but all right. So Matt now activating.
He's only getting 15.
Yeah. and he's paying for his drains,
Yeah.
but it's still a drain of 3, and Joe's
He's got
doesn't have a lot left.
no. He
Like,
loses sense, Death Squadron assignment, and the sand effect.
and I don't mind losing the sense there.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Wise Advice out, it's not like the sense is costing Matt cards.
Yeah.
And I think Phil, I think Phil's right. I don't think Matt's got a lot of characters who are a threat right now
I don't
for a
know.
draw their fire
Yeah.
beatdown.
Yeah. With the
I mean, maybe an EPP Obi. Like
but
Obi with Saber, he's still got floating around somewhere.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Obi-Wan going down to get rid of Vader because that is a drain of 2 there at the farm.
Yeah.
Because right now, Joe would be doing 6 points of damage this next turn.
Yeah. No, I mean the Obi to get rid of that drain would not be a terrible thing at all. Um,
But I mean, Matt right now is sitting at 29 life hand in life. Joe only has 17.
yeah. And Matt's draining for enough to keep Joe in a bad spot. Yeah, and Phil, he could have another Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Lando and Owen and Baru don't do anything against Vader. Like Lando alone doesn't do anything against Vader. If he's got Lando, he's kind of stuck. Like Lando's not doing anything. Obi, I mean, I could see Obi against Isard and Seventh Sister just because you can wipe that site.
Yeah, but it's only
Obi to
it's
hit
only
one
a
of
drain
them.
of 1.
Yeah, and that's why I think Obi at Vader might be better.
Oh, he said. Okay, so Matt did say in the chat that he should have activated 1 more. That
Okay.
I don't like. I would not be asking for a revert here.
No, I don't think I don't think he is. I think he's just commenting.
Yeah.
Basically, this would be. I'm pretty generous with reverts. That would fall on the no. You've done a whole host of things. You don't get to do that.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, you should just play that they're tracking us and call it a day. I mean, we're just assuming Matt has every card.
Yeah, why not? He's had everything so far.
Crazy, He's.
I mean,
So.
I just don't know what Matt is trying to do here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm. So 12 force, he needs to battle, eventually pay to retrieve. Maybe Obi and Hera at Endor? Like, Hera's no good against Vader. She's just going to get choked.
But she'd be really good against the Seventh Sister and Isard.
Yeah, like Obi plus Hera against Seventh Sister and Isard could make things real spicy because it also give you, well, I'd say it'd give you that drain, but
yeah,
Matt's activated enough. He could drain if he wanted to. I'm just Matt's still.
He's in his control
Joe's
phase.
forcing Matt to think.
Yeah. And eat up clock.
Yeah, which is actually like Joe's 8 minutes ahead on clock right now.
I mean, Connor was up like 20 minutes on Matt in the semifinals, and Matt still was able to pull that one out.
Yeah, and I can't see Matt running out of clock here. So I think we'll see. I think we'll see a decision at some point. It's just, yeah, if he's a force short now, he's got to rethink his plan of action
and
see what he what he wants to do here and where he wants to go with it. So
just as a quick recap, while Matt is thinking in his control phase, your token for this game is Gunite. Oh no!
What?
He lost on a decision timeout.
I
that should be taken off.
I
No,
don't know
no. He said
what
he
happens
lost
here.
he lost due to decision timeout. There's a 5-minute timer.
Yeah.
Joe's saying GG.
And Joe might be willing to take the win here. I'm just trying to see if that was
what.
I'm actually wondering if Matt may have had like his internet just drop. Yeah, and Phil's saying the same thing. Okay, Matt. Yeah, Matt's saying the same thing.
Huh.
And Joe's saying a timeout counts my hand too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Matt did not.
Jared.
Activate bat signal.
Bat signal. This is advocate signal.
Yeah. Well, we always like Bat Mouse. He can bring us brisket. Yeah, I don't think that. I didn't think that was
thought he had 5 minutes. That was way too quick.
That felt like a. Yeah, no, I think the confusion here is like the game definitely went to timeout. I think Matt's confused why it went to timeout.
Yeah.
Because I think it doesn't give us a timer. This might also be a EBT, Echo Base Trooper question. What? So Joe won by a max of 17.
Yeah.
If this stands, Joe either won by 14 or 17. With 18 in lost, and Matt had 12 in lost. I guess that could have been a 5-minute.
I don't think it was 5 minutes though.
Yeah, it was a fast 5 minutes if it was. We definitely were, there was some talking and time crunching there. I think I'm wondering if they're privately discussing. Joe sure seems to be saying he's taking the win, and I think that's I think Joe should, simply because there's no way to fix this right now.
No, there isn't.
Like, you can't restart this game right now.
No.
And frankly, I don't think Matt wants to just replay the game. Like,
no, because Matt loses all of the surprise factor.
Yeah.
Like, Joe does not play those particular shields.
Yeah. I think the only one, I think Joe might, honestly. Like, Coward might be the only one he doesn't play.
Yeah.
You're still playing the Grabber. You're still playing Battle Arter.
Yeah.
The Gunite Canceller is still the one in play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any of those change too much. I don't know. Are we? I don't see if they're wanting to start another game. So right away.
Joe said either play the second game tonight or over the weekend.
Or this weekend. Yep.
Let's wait until we hear from the actual the tournament director. Yeah. And I agree, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I feel real bad if Matt loses this on a unwarned timeout that definitely was close on the time.
I mean, I
And
agree.
it matters too on 14 or 17.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot that we aren't. That definitely is going to be taken into consideration here. Jared is going to be handling this situation, I believe. Bill is probably. I think Bill was in the chat as well at some point. He's still in the
yeah,
chat.
Bill was around.
So once we have a word from our
Our players.
directors, we'll let you guys know. We'll also let you know whether or not they're going to be playing this weekend and or tonight. Uh, Joe is still in chat, and it looks like MHT is
MHT is not
not.
in GEMP right now,
So
which might be I'll be honest, if I'm Matt right now, I'm probably very frustrated.
yes,
And that this might be a, yeah, we're going to play later
yeah,
kind of thing, just to have some time to reset your mind. All right, so
Joe's in the
Joe,
chat.
so that's awkward.
Hi, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, this there was a whole lot of what the heck just happened there
Yeah,
this game, I think, from all of us, but that definitely was the craziest thing. I don't think Matt knew he was hitting that 5-minute timer. And I mean, I'm assuming you and he are chatting privately. Are we going to see game 2 right now? Is Matt stepping away for a couple minutes to just refocus himself? Where are we at?
okay.
He may very well have taken 5 minutes, Joe. I don't think, I mean, there was a wait there. And I'm certainly not, I don't think either Dan or I saying Gemp didn't time things correctly. Like, it's a computer, it can keep a clock.
Hopefully.
I think the issue, for lack of a better term, and Phil said it too, like, would have been nice if there was it'd be nice if some sort of warning popped up,
Yeah,
because that was definitely a very key turn, and
definitely.
Matt was trying to figure out what and how he could make that play.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there.
So I'm we'll see what yeah, something like some sort of chatter pop up that just says, hey, by the way, are you still here?
Yeah.
Would have been really beneficial. And at the same time, like, when Phil asked the same thing we did, which was, did he just drop connection? Like, did something happen there?
Yeah, there was a lot. Like I said, like we said.
Yeah, I mean, a blooper reel? I hope that wasn't, I don't, we didn't make any bloopers. So, yeah, I think it was just a slow decision making. It could very well have been 5 minutes. I mean, it's tough to watch time as we're sitting trying to keep things entertaining
Okay.
for our,
Yeah, Matt took a
all our viewers.
screenshot, posted it on Slack. And I mean, there's nothing in the rules for decision timeouts right now, at least from what I've seen.
Which makes it even crazier. Like, okay,
Yeah.
how do you handle this? Like, that's
Yeah.
a crazy. There's so much that could be Um, yeah, Matt posted in. Looks like Jared needs to kind of make a decision here, and he was
Yeah.
busy. I got a sneaking suspicion this is going to be a
So
let's play another day. I don't see Matt in the lobby right now.
yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break from the coverage, so that way we're not just sitting here with time and everything. Once we do have an answer regarding what is going on, we'll let everybody know. So just unfortunately stay tuned, and then we'll have any information we have. We'll give it to you guys as soon as we have it.
All right. Oh, Joe Lynn at a
Okay,
later date.
so according to our esteemed tournament director, Bill Kafer, Joe will win this game by 17, and game two will be played at a later date. So, not much more we can say after that.
Yeah, it's Joe wins by 17 with 18 and lost. Matt
And
loses by 17 with 12 and lost. And I think, this gives Matt some time to compose himself mentally,
yeah,
because I think this was definitely a surprising and tough loss to take. So Matt gets to compose himself a little bit and figure out a way to come back and beat Joe by 18.
and I think if there's somebody
So
that can do it, it would be Matt Harrison-Trainor. Matt's a really
yeah,
good caller.
I saw that in the Gem PC. If I win a couple games, I'm playing Matt's in there, and I'm a root for Matt right now in this game, simply so he doesn't go into that with a giant chip on his shoulder and figure out a way to beat me by like 63.
Yeah. I
Some
think
sort of Trevor Horme selling me cards and stealing them back kind of stuff. I don't know what he's going to do, but after all the weird stuff that he just dropped, I'm a little scared.
Yeah,
So
I mean, let's like talk about those for a second. Like Matt played such interesting stuff. We saw, I mean, the Draw Their Fire is almost a staple in a HITCO deck, but seeing Revolution, two Gunitas, and Beggar.
and Jedi Presence, like he was absolutely going for the one turn beatdown style, end the game that way.
Yeah.
And that makes more sense why he was then running Hitco with I Must Be Allowed to Speak, because that farm puller allows you to get those necessary components. Like that's what you need to make that happen, is you need those components. And if you're really counting on the Beggar beatdown, you need the shield busting so you can play Beggar. Like it was a super interesting deck. I mean, I don't know if Joe's still in chat. I think had that not gone to timeout, I do think Matt was in an advantage position.
Yeah.
But I think it would have ended up very close on force at the end. Like I think Matt would have won the game, but I don't think it would have been by much.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And that 5-minute decision timeout it's unfortunate that that's how that had to end. But it'll make the next game add a little more spice to it as we see what happens. And as a part of the tournament committee, I know, we try and run everything, and we always try and plan for every eventuality. And our players are super creative and super unique, and sometimes just do things we don't expect. And
Yep.
something like this is now we know for next time, how we want to handle decision timeouts, or do we want to, remind players that these occur. And
yeah, and I do like the idea that was presented in the chat by Phil. Um, a little bit of a warning wouldn't be bad.
yeah,
Like, I think,
like
especially
if
in these
Matt still
high end
needed,
games where it's two players who are very skilled and it literally comes down to almost a turn there.
yeah,
I
like
think
if Matt
something
still
like that
needed,
would be very beneficial to everybody.
yeah, I mean, if Matt still needed time to decide, he always could have just passed his control phase, because he
Mm-hmm.
probably wasn't paying to drain for one. Although maybe that was the decision he was doing, was the math on should drain for one. But like if you just, okay, fine, I guess I'm going to pass my control phase to give myself a couple more minutes to think about the deploy actions I want to
I mean,
make.
you can also turn off the decision timer too.
Yeah, that's and maybe that's what Matt needs to do for next time, is just turn that off if he's going to sit and go into the tank and think those plays
Yeah.
for that long. It's definitely was a tough way to end it, but it means we get another game later this week of high level Star Wars, and
Yep.
that's always a plus, and gives some more people ideas for San Diego, which is coming up in what's that, about a week and a half now.
10 days.
That'll be hopefully the weather starts to get better there. I know my kids were there over this week. Two of my kids were there over this weekend, and it was a little cold. My daughter went to the beach because we have 11 billion feet of snow here, so she was going to the
Well,
beach, but she said it was kind of cold and just the seals being lazy.
that's right. Well, I mean,
And
once you have Bat Mouse's cooking, though, I mean, if you get
yeah,
Bat Mouse's cooking, it will warm you up.
yeah, they did not get Bat Mouse's cooking, I don't think.
Yeah.
So that's that's something I'll have to have them correct if they go back there for the lacrosse tournament next winter. Find out where Bat Mouse is cooking exactly and get the coach to take them out there. So I think we're probably about done for
Yeah.
tonight, though. I mean, there's nothing more we can just keep talking, but like nobody needs that. So
No, nobody wants to hear that.
we can we can probably call this one a night and thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for being here and working with us as we figured out answers to questions.
Yeah.
Like this was not what we expected, and we'll certainly get it out on socials when the next game is going down, and you guys can come watch the finals of the Champions League and see what Matt with a chip on his shoulder comes back in against Joe. So it'll be an interesting.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am. It'll be a fun match, and it'll be interesting to see what they have going on.
Okay. Well,
So
I think that about wraps it up for tonight, everybody. So everybody enjoy the rest of your day or evening or whatever time zone you're in. Garrett, it is always a pleasure. Until next time, everybody, may the force be with you.